the Senior Minister in the Union Government, Shri Suresh Prabhu, Shri Amir Hussain Amu, Honorable Minister from our neighboring friendly country, Bangladesh, Honorable Shri Samidat Bola, Honorable Minister for Business and Enterprise and Cooperative, that is another friendly country nearby, Mauritius, and then Shri B.U. Giri, President of WASME. I was just casually remarking with him that in our country, this Giri is called as Giri. So he was telling me, he remember V.V. Giri, the former president. Dominise J. Misibi, Vice President WASME, Sri Indradev Narayan, Vice President WASME, Sri S.M. Jariur Rahman, Vice President WASME, then Sri G.P. Agarwal, Secretary General WASME, diplomats from different countries, and also distinguished participants of this conference. I feel very happy to be here to inaugurate this conference. I would have spent more time, but for some communication gap, some commitment has been given. I have to honor that engagement also. And I always have a habit of coming not only on time, sometimes before time also. So people always look to me whether I am maintaining that time or not. Friends, this is a subject very dear to my heart. Basically, of course, I am an agriculturist with a rural background, though I served as Urban Development Minister before I was Rural Development Minister also. People are migrating to urban areas in search of better opportunities, education, employment, entertainment, economic upliftment, enhanced medical facilities. All these 5 E's are forcing people to go to urban areas. And as this migration now cannot be reversed, but at the same time you need to provide them opportunities. As I told you, even I have migrated from rural development to urban development minister earlier in the government, though my heart lives in villages. But at the same time, small is beautiful, this manufacturing, and that too particularly small scale sector, it has a very important role to play. And I am happy that this year the global prestigious conference has returned to India. Indeed, a great platform to discuss, exchange and deliberate many key initiatives taken by various governments. We have heard the honorable ministers also sharing their experiences. We heard these 3 ministers just now. We know that formal SMEs contribute to 60% of the total employment and up to 40% of the national income, GDP, in emerging economies. In India, they contribute up to 45% of its GDP. The Indian SME sector enjoys nearly 46 crore people they employ it, which is the second largest workforce in the country, of course, after the agriculture sector. Agriculture sector is growing at 11.5% annually. According to estimates of the World Bank, 600 million jobs will be needed in the next 15 years to absorb the growing global workforce, namely in Asia and sub-Saharan Africa. In emerging markets, most formal jobs are generated by small and medium sector, which also create 4 out of 5 new positions. That speaks about the importance of this sector. The SMEs represent the backbone of global economic activity and play a crucial role in alleviating poverty and ensuring inclusive economic growth. These are the 2 important things before the world, before this nation also. One is alleviation of the poverty, uplifting the poorest of the poor, taking care of them, and then at the same time ending economic inequalities, and then creating employment and wealth by following the principle of inclusive growth. There is no other way than this, because you can't have a world and peace with this sort of economic disparities. So every country must focus on alleviation of the poverty, at the same time ending economic disparities to the extent possible by pursuing the programs of the inclusive growth. That's why the Indian Prime Minister has gone for this Jana Dhana Yojana. At one stroke, he made the country to open 26 crores of bank accounts in 1 year, 4 months. And he came out with the Jana Dhana Yojana. And then he also now started a Mudra Bank, which will cater to the needs of the medium and small scale sectors and the street vendors, the push cart people, and the vegetable sellers and the fish market small people, all this. There is a separate bank created for that purpose. As Sureshji was rightly saying, the banks earlier in their eagerness, because there was a lot of money available at the time, have pushed it more towards the major players, big industry and all. We are seeing what is the result and all. I don't find fault with them, but at the same time, they should have taken care of the small and medium sector also. The Prime Minister has recognized this, and then he has come with this Mudra Bank concept also. And now also banks again have money in India, because all the money that was there, some of the money which was there under beds and also pillows and bathrooms have come back to banks. So, there is a debate going on. I don't want to get into that political debate because I am not in politics now. I am retired from politics, but not tired from public life. And I hold a constitutional responsibility. The money has come back. So some people are raising questions, sir, what is the purpose of the so-called demonetization, etc.? Money has come back to bank. As an ordinary citizen of the country, I understand that was the purpose. The money has come back to banks. The money has come back to banks with address. मैं हमेशा हमारा भारतीय भाषा में कहता हूँ, पैसा पता के साथ आया, पिता के साथ आया और पति के साथ आया, बैंक में पहुँच गया. Now, how much is official, how much is unofficial, black, white, whatever we discuss and all, that will be decided by the Reserve Bank. It has to take the people of the country into confidence and also explain to the people. That work is, I think, is in progress. But the money has come back. So banks need to create a balance and take care of the sector which is giving maximum employment and provide loans, support, economic support. And that's, I am happy, is the policy of the government. And that seems to be the policy of all the other governments also. That's the way forward for poverty alleviation. And secondly, friends, the main issue was accessing finance. And also the other related issues, infrastructure and support from the system and the government. Now I am told that various governments are focusing their attention so that they can realize the full potential and play a bigger role in the country's economic prosperity to enable these small scale and medium sectors. The theme of the conference, Achieving Inclusive and Substantial Industrialization by Promoting SMEs, is very close to my heart, as I told you in the beginning. Today, climate change and global warming are stark realities affecting the people, fauna and flora all over the world. Till a few decades ago, discussions on these topics remained confined to scientific conferences, such as the general public either remained blissfully indifferent or were not fully aware about the disastrous consequences. But gradually, people have started to realize the dangers of indiscriminate depletion of natural resources and that it cannot be business as usual. In sustaining this planet and ensuring a greener future for posterity, the SMEs can play a crucial role by adopting practices that will not impact the environmental and harm the present and future generations. I applaud WASME for this initiative as integrating the crucial agenda of SME development with the Sustainable Development Goals, which was advocated by the United Nations. This is very important, marrying these two things, because the SME's development will have to be centered around sustainability. The growth must sustain. No doubt industrial growth and creating more jobs are important, but the future cannot be jeopardized for the present. According to the United Nations, the global population is expected to cross 9 billion by 2050. This is again an area on which we have to focus ourselves. Imagine the stress on the natural resources and raw materials which are being consumed faster than the rate at which they can be regenerated. The United Nations have adopted 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. Indian Parliament also has discussed it. I think they will be continuing to discuss it further also. This universal agenda has provided the base that the countries may adopt in economic, social, and environmental spheres while formulating the national development strategies. In the context of the Sustainable Development Goals, inclusive and sustainable industrialization, the SME development must be the primary development agenda of the national governments, so as to address these critical issues around economic growth, job creation, social stability, and environmental protection. All these are important. Among the 17 Sustainable Development Goals and 169 targets, there are many goals that have a bearing on the SME development, especially Sustainable Development Goal number 9, that is to build on a 3-pillar infrastructure, industry, innovation, of all of which are strongly connected among themselves and share the common goal of achieving social inclusive and environmentally sustainable economic development. Although over the past decade, regions such as East and South Asia have made remarkable progress in achieving developmental goals in the area of infrastructure, industrialization, innovation, achieving SDG 9 by 2030 will require addressing range of resource constraints, especially in the context of developing countries. Vulnerable countries, including the least developed countries, landlocked developed countries, and small island developed states, this is very important. Countries will have to strengthen their capabilities and explore new ways to solve developmental challenges by involving various actors, processes, and types of governance, source of finance, and encouraging collaboration and cooperation across stakeholders, sectors, and regions. By adopting this Sustainable Development Goal 9, in particular, the global community has committed to an industrial development paradigm that is inclusive and sustainable. It is also imperative to forge linkages with all other SDGs as regards job creation, sustainable livelihoods, SME development, better health, technology and skill development, food security, green technologies, environmental protection, building resilient cities, and climate change mitigation. I am sure that the Global Convention will serve as an important platform for various stakeholders to network, share their experiences, and more importantly, to highlight and emulate good practices. Now we are living in the era of LPG, liberalization, privatization, globalization. The globe has become very small. So we must try to take advantage of the same and exchange knowledge, evaluate the good experiences. That's the need of the hour, and that's the purpose of this conference also. I particularly feel hosting this conference, India has a great significance for both India and other participating countries in India has achieved a remarkable improvement in the ease of doing business. Recently, you must be aware that the World Bank has given 30 ranks up to India. From 140, it has come to 100 during the present government. That's a major, remarkable achievement. Ease of earlier people used to say it's a red tape. Now the Prime Minister said, no red tape, it should be red carpet. Not simply laying a carpet. That means removing all the obstacles, ease of doing business, ease of approvals. All these things are being simplified. So friends, I once again appreciate the WASME for this great initiative and for being in the forefront of SME development, both nationally and also internationally. I wish WASME and this international conference all the success, and I look forward for specific recommendations for pursuing an all-inclusive, resource-efficient and sustainable development strategy. That is the need of the hour. I thank all the participants for joining this conference, and I hope that they will all enjoy the rich culture, heritage, food, and comfortable stay in this great country during their stay here for this conference. Thank you very much for your kind attention. Jai Hind.